Naruto God Level Majin Buu, Chapter 561 to 580. 561 Get Indra's Escape. Black Zetsu really can't figure it out. Indra's strength is already strong enough, but why Lian Chen's strength can't be heard at all, and Chen's strength manifested seems far beyond his imagination, mysterious and unpredictable. How could this be? Your strength is so much stronger than Indra's. Black Zetsu looked at Chen in astonishment, screamed in horror, and finally couldn't help speaking. Chen glanced at Black Zetsu. It's not that my strength is much stronger than Indra, but that I am much stronger than you. Black Zetsu, although you are manipulating Indra's corpse, you cannot use Indra's full strength. Because no matter what, whether it is your strength or vision, the realm limits you. It's like you think you're standing on the top of a mountain, but you don't know that I'm already flying above the blue sky. In all fairness, Indra is definitely not weak. After all, even Black Zetsu manipulated Indra's corpse to display such a powerful combat power. It is hard to imagine what kind of strength Indra would have been when he hadn't died, at least it was at the 6 paths level. However, Black Zetsu is too much influenced and restricted by himself, so when dealing with Chen, Black Zetsu can't play Indra's heyday at all. Impossible, absolutely impossible. I arranged for this day for so long, and even adjusted Indra's corpse to the peak state, how could it not be as impossible as yours? Black Zetsu was shocked and shook his head slightly, unable to believe this fact. I don't understand, I just don't understand. Chen shook his head. This is the gap between you and me, Indra and others. So we can stand on the top of the ninja, and you Black Zetsu can only play tricks in the shadows from the beginning to the end, and you can't get on the stage. Chen said lightly. When Black Zetsu said this, he was instantly furious, and he was also furious, but he had no power to refute. Black Zetsu is indeed far inferior to Tatsuya just by virtue of his personal strength. Playing a conspiracy, you can't get on the stage from beginning to end, Black Zetsu, just accept your fate. Chen said lightly, and at the same time, he saw a wave of power surging around Chen's body. Chen looked at Black Zetsu coldly and said, It's over, this time I want to thank you. On this Indra's corpse, there is a powerful shadowy power. As long as I can get these shadowy powers, I can further evolve my Sharingan and get the Reincarnation Sharingan. Reincarnation Sharingan, that's not for mothers. Black Zetsu was startled, then glanced at Chen in shock, and said angrily, No, I won't let you succeed. Hearing Chen's words, Black Zetsu's heart collapsed. Where did Black Zetsu think that when he brought Indra's corpse, he fulfilled Chen's eyes and saw that Chen's strength was so amazing? He obtained the power of Yin in Indra's body and inspired the Reincarnation Sharingan. But only Kagaya-hime is Reincarnation Sharingan, and Kagaya-hime has only one Reincarnation Sharingan, which shows how precious and extraordinary the eyes are. Black Zetsu was extremely flustered, looking at Chen's eyes full of panic, and already had the idea of running away in his heart. But unfortunately, Chen will not give him a chance. Chen knew for a long time that Black Zetsu's life-saving guy was first class, so he had been on guard against Black Zetsu's hand for a long time. Chen used the Senluo domain to set up a space blockade, making this space completely independent. As Chen just said, in this space, he is a god. Everything in this space is in Chen's master, no matter what. Whatever happens, Chen can take it easy, master. So in this space, even Black Zetsu is no match for Tatsuya. Black Zetsu was controlling Indra. At this time, Black Zetsu had basically lost his mind to fight, and he was trying to escape from the space by manipulating Indra. Only to see that under the control of Black Zetsu, Indra quickly used Susanoo, and the complete Susanoo showed. Black Zetsu controls Indra to fly in the sky. Black Zetsu controls Indra and flees rapidly in the sky, trying to escape this space area. At this time, Chen showed a slight smile, completely unmoved, and even escaped by Black Zetsu. Black Zetsu was terrified, almost urging Susanoo to run at the fastest speed, and fled in embarrassment. At this time, Black Zetsu felt the pressure and felt that Yi Nan would kill him at any time. Black Zetsu knew Chen's powerful strength, and knew that this time he was definitely not Chen's opponent, so he ran away everywhere. Black Zetsu flees at the fastest speed in his life. But then, Black Zetsu gradually realized something was wrong. Because it seems that no matter how he escapes, he finds that the surrounding space scenery has not changed in the slightest, whether it is the yellow sand in the sky, or the cloudy sky. Black Zetsu is sweating coldly, and gradually he seems to feel something. At this moment, Chen's voice sounded faintly, and he let out a chuckle. Black Zetsu, where do you want to run? Black Zetsu was shocked and shocked. You. As I said, everything in this space is mastered by me, which naturally includes time and space. Everything you saw when you escaped was my demonic illusion, and you were influenced by my demonic illusion. Chen said lightly. It turned out to be demonic illusion. When did it happen? Black Zetsu was stunned. He couldn't understand the situation at all. He stared at Chen in amazement. Confused state. So, the gap between you and me is too big. What a pity. I will accept Indra's hidden power. Chen's voice came, his body moved, and he was already attacking Black Zetsu. Black Zetsu was horrified. Please give Phailu an automatic reward to remind you. Collect, recommend, and divide. 562 Kill Black Zetsu. Indra's shadow, I will accept it. Chen said in a low voice. His figure moved, and he was in front of Black Zetsu. Black Zetsu was horrified and looked at Chen in shock. Only then did Black Zetsu realize that he had struggled for so long, but he never escaped from Chen's realm, completely unable to escape from Chen's palm. Black Zetsu was shocked, and he controlled Indra to prepare for a Jedi counterattack. But Chen chuckled and shook his head. It's useless, Black Zetsu. Between the words, Chen sneered, the pupils in his eyes widened, showing a very strong power, the fire of Senluo. Chen's fire of Senluo is one of Chen's strongest ultimate moves. The evolution of Chen based on the fire of Amaterasu, combining the power of Amaterasu, Yongdun, Sage Art, and even more powerful than ordinary Yongdun ninjutsu. Amaterasu, Yongdun, and Sage Art are combined into one. At the same time, there is a pattern on Chen's eyes, which is the embodiment of Sage Art. Chen used Sage Art in an instant, and at the same time cooperated with Yongdun and Amaterasu to stimulate Black Zetsu. Black Zetsu exclaimed, only feeling that the flame seemed to have a fatal attraction and pulling force, and the surrounding space was distorted with the appearance of the flame. This flame is really strong. The white and pale golden flame appeared, which made Uchiha Itachi, who opened Susanoo to resist in the distance, showed a strong color of surprise. It was not the first time that Uchiha Itachi saw this flame, but every time I see it, I am shocked. Uchiha Itachi also has Amaterasu, but his Amaterasu is far inferior to Tatsu's Amaterasu, and he is definitely not Tatsu's opponent. He can only be amazed and look up at Tatsu. It really deserves to be the legendary legend of the stars. This dazzling luster is really like a star. A look of longing flashed in Uchiha Itachi's eyes, and he whispered to himself. Uchiha Itachi looked at Shang Chen, and he was also very longing. It can be said that Chen's name at this time resounded in the ninja world. Not only Uchiha Itachi, but Chen even lit up the light of longing for all ninjas. The current Tatsu, in the minds of all ninjas, is like a god, especially after the last time Tatsu and Senju Hashirama, Senju Tobarama, Namikaze Minato and Orochimaru four-people confrontation. The entire ninja world seems to have only the legend of Tatsu. Strong, too scary. Even people like Uchiha Itachi are fascinated after hearing Chen's legend and seeing Chen's deeds, let alone other people. White is intertwined with pale golden flames, and Black Zetsu screamed in pain. Black Zetsu screamed miserably, only feeling that he was surrounded by a hot flame and even had a trembling feeling, and even Black Zetsu felt that his soul was about to be burned, and he was facing a great threat. Black Zetsu was shocked and shocked. This flame. Black Zetsu has the power to explode and destroy in the fire of Senra, as if he will bow his head in front of this flame. Not only was just him, this flame seemed to carry the coercion of contempt of all things, and when Black Zetsu was stained with it, there was a burning pain in his soul. And this fire of Senra also has the same characteristics as Amaterasu, that is, it will never go out, unless Chen takes the initiative to remove the flame. Black Zetsu was stunned. In this case, Black Zetsu could only split his body to avoid the fire's attack, otherwise he might even be burned to death by the fire. Black Zetsu directly gave up Indra's body, because Indra's body was also wrapped by Chen with the fire of Senra. If Black Zetsu didn't give up this body, there was only a dead end waiting for him. Black Zetsu had to endure the pain to save his life, abandoned Indra's body. And Chen continued to imprison this space with Sen Luo's domain, blocking all escape routes for Black Zetsu. Black Zetsu was terrified, completely shocked, not knowing how to resist Chen. He knew that he was about to face destruction next, so he was extremely terrified. Indra's shadows are mine first. Chen chuckled lightly, his figure moved, and then he was in control of Indra's body. He stretched out his hand and used the power of Bansho Tenon, universal pull, to suck, and he saw that Indra's body was directly in Chen's hand. At the same time, Chen sensed a mysterious power from Indra's body. This power was deep and unpredictable, and it seemed to be the power of Yin. Indra inherited the power of escapism and spiritual power of the Six Paths Sage, which is indeed extraordinary. Damn! Black Zetsu's eyes flickered, but he knew that he was no longer Chen's opponent at this time, so he could only accompany him with a smile. Lord Chen, please spare my life. I was once a member of Lord Madara's subordinates. You and Uchiha Madara belong to the same Uchiha clan, and although you have different positions and opinions, you are still the same Uchiha clan. Please let me go once. I will never dare to provoke you again. This Indra's corpse should be my apology. Black Zetsu hurriedly said with a flattering smile. Chen narrowed his eyes and glanced at Black Zetsu. Black Zetsu, you have underestimated me too much. Do you think I don't know your identity? You were a mother just now. Do you really think I don't know who you are? You. Hearing Chen's words, Black Zetsu's eyes moved suddenly, and he looked at Chen in shock. It seems that Chen already knew his identity, and he knew it very well. Black Zetsu thought of this, with a hint of despair on his face. This time, it's more likely to be less fortunate. However, when Black Zetsu was in despair, Black Zetsu's eyes flickered again, thinking of a way to escape. Black Zetsu, you must be trying to possess or escape. Don't worry, I am very vigilant about you and won't let you escape so easily. Chen smiled lightly. This time, you will die. Black Zetsu's expression changed greatly. While talking, Chen has already started. At this time, Black Zetsu has lost Indra, and to Chen, it is like fish meat, let it be slaughtered. Please download Filu's novel if you want to automatically read the novel without underline. 563 Finally killed. Open black lens bracket for automatic reward. Close black lens bracket. Black Zetsu had really been thinking about how to get out before. What Black Zetsu wanted most was to get out directly through possession or avatar, but Chen obviously wouldn't give Black Zetsu this chance. Although Black Zetsu's strength is average, his life-saving skills are absolutely top-notch. Chen is very clear about this. Seeing Black Zetsu's expression, Chen's eyes flashed with a hint of indifference, and he said, Black Zetsu, don't have any thoughts, you are dead. I give you death. Chen said lightly. Following Chen's words, Chen's body moved, and the yin and yang in his body were aroused, and when he saw Black Zetsu screaming, he let out a shrill scream, and wanted to avoid this attack. The strength Chen showed was indeed too strong, causing Black Zetsu to feel a chill in his heart, knowing that he was definitely not Chen's opponent. Even Black Zetsu knew very well that even escaping in Chen's hands was a big problem. Thinking of this, Black Zetsu's expression became even more frightened. Black Zetsu, I know you're hard to kill, but can you escape the power of yin and yang? Chen looked at Black Zetsu. A cold smile appeared in his eyes. narrowed his eyes, and his eyes showed a cold light. Black Zetsu's expression changed, and when he looked at Chen, he also felt a trace of unease. Black Zetsu itself is the will of Kagaya-hime, and the body is also extremely special, which was specially created by Kagaya-hime. The purpose is to let Black Zetsu survive in this world, and finally release her. Therefore, Black Zetsu has almost the characteristics of an immortal body. Although it is not as good as Kagaya-hime's immortal body, it is also extremely scary. Black Zetsu didn't expect Chen to feel like he knew his secret, so his expression was moved and he whispered, "Damn. Black Zetsu, die. Yin and Yang escape, and the flow is extinguished." Chen shouted in a deep voice. Instant, I only saw the power of Yin-Yang escape, and the Yin-Yang escape broke out, and a domineering power was revealed, and the vibrations caused cracks in the surrounding space, and the power burst out, making Black Zetsu feel great threat. Black Zetsu didn't expect that Chen showed Yin and Yang to deal with him. He was terrified for a while and wanted to avoid it, but he found that he was clearly imprisoned by the Senluo domain, and he couldn't move at all. The expression in Black Zetsu's eyes kept changing. Looking at Chen's eyes is even more horrified, with a look of astonishment, revealing a hint of astonishment. Yang escape, the flow is extinguished. This ninjutsu was displayed, and the surrounding air seemed to be torn apart, and even the space was about to be destroyed, making Black Zetsu feel stronger and stronger. Black Zetsu only felt that under this powerful force, he himself they all seem to be like a small boat. There is a danger of being overturned at any time, even in the face of Chen. This is getting weaker and weaker, and even disappears. Chen's aim was aimed at him, and even killed him completely. Black Zetsu knew Chen's intentions very well, so he knew that he had to kill him. In this case, Black Zetsu also desperately resisted, wrapped around Chen's body, and wanted to possess Chen's body. That's right, only the possession is in the body. Chen's body can escape this crisis. Thinking of this, Black Zetsu moved his body and attacked Shang Chen's arm. In fact, Chen had already planned, squinting his eyes, and said lightly, "The fire of Senluo." An instant, he saw the fire of Senluo spreading out from Chen's whole body, and strong flames lingered around Chen, making Black Zetsu's expression change even more, just when he wanted to touch Chen. When possessed on Chen's body, he didn't expect Chen to be ready, and even attached the fire of Senluo to his whole body, forming a layer of absolute defense, which made Black Zetsu's expression change greatly. Damn, this. Black Zetsu's expression was cold, his eyes were full of shock, and he felt that this time he was really fierce. Black Zetsu was too late to react at this time. He was burned to the whole body by the fire of the Senrao, and he felt the coercion from Chen, especially the mysterious fire of Senrao. He didn't know what it was. The flames made Black Zetsu feel a sense of fear. It seems that as long as you get close to this flame, you will be burned by the powerful power contained in the flame. This made Black Zetsu feel deeply terrified. Black Zetsu had personally experienced the power of Senra's fire. The power was so terrifying that even Black Zetsu knew it very well. The mighty Senluo fire seems to be able to burn the soul, and at the same time has three completely different powers, which belong to Yangdun, Amaterasu and Sage Art. The power of these three is one. Even Black Zetsu can't resist, fear spreads, and he can't avoid it. When Black Zetsu faced the power of these three, he felt a burst of fear, and was almost scared to death. He only felt that the power was completely beyond his imagination. This is Uchiha-chan's strength. It is too powerful and mysterious. The unity of these three forces brings a powerful coercion, even higher than the power he feels his mother Kagaya-hime. It's just that Chen's actual strength is slightly inferior to that of his mother, Kagaya-hime, but the potential of this power seems to be even higher than that of his own mother, which is absolutely terrible. Thinking of this, I saw the same expression on Black Zetsu's face. Gradually changed, became more and more afraid, looking at Chen's eyes, the older and more fearful. The strength shown by Chen really shocked Black Zetsu. Die. Chen burned the fire of Senrao, and Black Zetsu's body didn't know what it was made of. Kagaya Haim transformed Black Zetsu's body, so that Black Zetsu could withstand the flame of Senrao's fire, at least for a short time. In time, Black Zetsu has not died. After the fire of Senluo scorched frantically, Black Zetsu screamed again and again, screaming sternly, "Uchiha-chan, mother won't let you go, just wait, I see how long you can hold on. It doesn't bother you anymore. Goodbye." Chen motivated the fire of Senrao, and the flame of Senrao's fire burned even more, and the pale golden flame burned everything, causing Black Zetsu to die completely. 564 Eyes Open, Eyes Reincarnation Sharingan. Black Zetsu was engulfed by the fire of Senrao. Chen increased the power of the fire of Senrao, so that the fire of Senrao burned the whole body of Black Zetsu, and Black Zetsu was burned by the fire of Senrao, and finally died. Utterly dead. Even Black Zetsu's powerful body, which was transformed by Kagaya Haim, may not be able to withstand Tatsu's power. Black Zetsu died. Uchiha Itachi in the distance let out a sigh of relief and glanced around, only to see that the desert was divided on both sides, the wind and sand were blowing, and yellow sand was everywhere. The earth was cracked, and long cracks appeared in the range of more than 10 miles in length and breadth. Uchiha Itachi closed his eyes Susanoo and sighed, feeling how terrible this battle was. This is the strength of Chen. Uchiha Itachi sighed softly. And Chen finally killed Black Zetsu. He couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. The words like a curse of malice before Black Zetsu's death still lingered in Chen's ears. Chen didn't care at all. Kagaya Haim will definitely have to deal with Kagaya Haim in the future, this is a matter of time. Even if Uchiha Madara doesn't release Kagaya, maybe Chen will release Kagaya Haim himself, and then take the opportunity to seal Kagaya Haim again. After all, Chen also knows that Kagaya Haim's strength is definitely a super obstacle to his goal of unifying the ninja world. That's all there is to it, and that's all. Chen whispered to himself, a faint smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. Killing Black Zetsu can finally let Chen breathe a sigh of relief, otherwise the feeling of being on your back is really unpleasant. After all, Black Zetsu is still disgusting. Although the power and strength of Black Zetsu is not too strong in the Hokage world, but Black Zetsu himself is too insidious and cunning. Black Zetsu has been continuing his conspiracy, first beguiling Indra, then beguiling Uchiha Madara and Obito, and finally releasing Kagaya Haim. This guy is Kagaya Haim's will. Chen cut off Kagaya Haim's arm before that, so as to facilitate his next action. Everything is much more convenient without the hidden threat of Black Zetsu. Otherwise, if Black Zetsu really wants to do something behind his back, even Chen will have to deal with it carefully. Thinking of this, Chen smiled slightly. In fact, this time Chen also thanked Black Zetsu. It was because of Black Zetsu that Chen got Indra's body. And Indra's corpse contains a strong shadow. Can stimulate the power of Chen Rinnegan. Chen is to use the power of Indra's corpse to help him complete the evolution from Rinnegan to Sharingan. Kagaya Haim's eyes are Samsara Sharingan, and they are 9 tomo, but Kagaya Haim has only one such eye. But even so, this is a Kagaya symbol. And Chen's eyes, originally purple Rinnegan, only have 6 tomo. But Chen's eyes are. All eyes are different and have properties that can grow. As the yin and yang escape power in Chen's body becomes stronger and stronger, Chen's eyes and pupils will also become stronger and stronger, eventually reaching the strongest 6 paths level. Chen grasped Indra's body, and already felt that hidden within Indra's body, that mysterious and complex force. This force is getting stronger and stronger, gradually erupting, and its power is strong. It can be said that Indra's shadow power may not be the strongest power Chen has ever seen, but Indra's shadow must be one of the purest shadow power Chen has ever seen. To the 2 treasures of the old 6 paths, Tomo of Yin and Rosary of Yang. It can only be said that Indra's power is worthy of inheritance from the 6 paths old man, and it is indeed very strong. Itachi, let's get out of here first. I am looking for a quiet place, and no one should disturb me. Chen said lightly. Yes. Right now, this place is not suitable to stay for a long time. After all, this is the territory of Sunagakur village, and staying in Sunagakur village will only cause problems. Although Chen is not afraid of the people of Sunagakur village at all, at this time, Chen still keeps a low profile. Soon, Tatsu and Uchiha Itachi flashed and left quickly. Immediately afterwards, Chen found a stronghold of Akatsuki in the Land of Rain. Chen entered the stronghold and let Uchiha Itachi leave first, while he took out Indra's body for research. Indra's corpse contains a strong yin power, even Chen can clearly perceive it. As expected of Indra, it just so happens that this shadowy power belongs to me, very good. Chen whispered to himself. Chen accepted this yin power. Chen used Bansho Tenon, universal pull, to suck up Indra's corpse, and at the same time, he saw a stream of yin power transferred to Indra's body through Indra's body. In Chen's body. Within Chen's body, the power of yin escape broke out, lingering on Chen's body. The strong power made Chen to feel the extraordinary, and narrowed his eyes slightly. The power of yin and yang is like a river, constantly flowing in all parts of Chen's body, and finally merges with the power of yin and yang in Chen's body. And the power of yin and yang in Chen's body is like the sea, tolerant of all things, and inclusive of all rivers. The yin and yang in Indra's body is like a powerful river, injecting fresh blood into the yin and yang of Chen's body. With the increase in strength, the sense of Chen is also getting stronger and stronger. Of yin and yang escape is indeed not to be underestimated. Chen felt that the whole body was like the warm sun in winter. Every capillary in the whole body was open, as if eating ginseng fruit. There was an indescribable comfort and pleasure. At the same time, Chen's eyes finally stimulated the whole body under the force of this yin. Chen only felt his eyes burst out, and a strong power swept out. Finally opened my eyes. My eyes are reincarnated Sharingan. If you want an automatic reward to read the underlined version of the novel. 565 The color of heaven and earth changes, attracting thunder. Chen only felt that his eyes were burning for a while. His eyes were hot, and with this heat flow, he only felt that his eyes had formed a powerful uzumaki, and everything around was in this uzumaki, with a huge rush of energy. Suction, burst out. Chen's eyes are so powerful. At the same time, the color of the pair of eyes that saw Chen finally changed. Of Chen's eyes began to gradually become darker, becoming, like, bloody yuhi, bewitching, even bewitching. Eyes are yuhi colored, like blood, like yuhi colored. There are circles of ripples in it, mysterious and mysterious, supreme. On top of this ripple pattern, there are 6 tomo scattered all over it, showing out above these eyes, fully showing. 6 tomo, with the color of blood yuhi in his eyes, finally constitute the evolution of Rinnegan this time. In the surrounding space of Chen, a huge suction force came, and the chakra in Chen's body rose wildly, representing the improvement of Chen's strength. Lian Chen himself didn't know how strong his strength was this time. Maybe it's the senior of 6 paths or the intermediate level of 6 paths. Feng Chen doesn't know, but he can clearly feel the strength in his body. The blood yuhi's reincarnation Sharingan is revealed, and the chakra is rising into the sky, dense like a liquid generally, the coercion of one after another hit, making the world seem to change color. What a strong boy, your eyes have really mutated. After absorbing Indra's shadowy power, it really stimulated your Rinnegan. At this time, the voice of the old man 6 paths was heard. The 6 paths immortals were all shocked and shocked. Even the 6 paths old man himself did not expect this to happen. After all, even the 6 paths fairy's own pair of Sharingans are just the most common Rinnegan, not even Tomo Rinnegan. 6 paths fairy is expected to bring with a bit of shock. He was already shocked by Chen's monster talent. What kind of monster is his disciple? Especially his pair of eyes, so special, to have such potential. This is more exaggerated than the power of his mother Keigayaheim. It can even be said that Chen's current potential is definitely the highest in the world of ninja. Compared with Keigayaheim, What he lacks is just a little time. Stinky boy, as expected, the task of maintaining peace will be handed over to you. Six Paths Ferry Road. Quote. Chen couldn't complain about this, and rolled his eyes at the Six Paths immortal, very helpless. Gradually, the chakra riots in Chen's body subsided, and Chen also felt the quietness of the chakra in his body. He took a sigh of relief, turned to look at the old man Six Paths, and said, "What do you think my current strength is?" "It's hard to say. I feel like I have the power of the year, but it seems that I can't tell without me. After all, your eyes are unique, and I don't know what kind of power you exert." But I saw the old man Six Paths whispering. Chen nodded slightly. Six Paths is not bad. However, it seems that even Chen is a little weaker than the old Six Paths old man, but it is not far behind. This kind of strength is truly top-notch. Thinking of this, Chen himself showed a slightly satisfied smile. Your eyes have unlimited potential, boy. These eyes may make you surpass your mother and become the strongest ninja in the future. The Six Paths immortal said solemnly. Chen smiled. I understand. Have grown into Samsara Sharingan by chance, even the Samsara Sharingan of 6 Tomo, and Kagaya Haim, S9 Tomo is only a thin line away. As Chen's strength becomes stronger and stronger, he will become more and more sure of facing Kagaya Haim in the future. After all, once Chen's eyes grow to 9 Tomo, it is the reincarnation Sharingan of 9 Tomo eyes. This power is absolutely unparalleled. Throughout the entire Hokage world, it is well-deserved and the strongest. That's why the old man of Six Paths was so amazed. He said Chen's potential is unlimited. Chen got Samsara Sharingan, in a good mood and happy, and was ready to leave the stronghold in the country of rain. Flash of body shape, Chen Li used the space to moved out of this space, and went outside. It is still raining in the country of rain. Heavy rain poured. Rain spreads, and everywhere is washed by the rain, making the country of rain in such a harsh environment. Chen's body moved, he flew in the sky. Saw it, he was approaching Akatsuki's headquarters, which is now the tallest building in the Kingdom of Rain, the tall tower in the Kingdom of Rain. But Chen didn't go back immediately, but he was intent on seeing how far his reincarnation Sharingan had reached, and how strong he was. Thinking of this, Chen looked into the sky and used his own reincarnation Sharingan. I saw that accompanied by the rotation of the 6 Tomo in Chen's eyes. In an instant, a majestic and huge energy was released, containing extremely strong yin power. Chen's eyes just turned, and an overwhelming pressure surged out. At the same time, countless thunderclouds gathered in the sky. Thousands of miles of thunderclouds and dark clouds suddenly condensed between heaven and earth. These thunderclouds and dark clouds meet, and the wind and clouds meet. Among the layers of clouds, thunder and lightning burst out. Boom, boom, boom. Only within a few dozen miles of the city of the land of rain, it was shrouded in thunderclouds. Black cloud is pressing down on the city and the city is about to be destroyed. There is a huge chakra between the thunderclouds, and the power of yin and evasion is mixed with it. The weather is changed by Chen when you move your hands and feet. Seeing that the thunderclouds are about to be released, making this the city has become a minefield of thousands of miles. The power of Chen's eyes can actually attract the thunder of the sky. Lien Chen himself was taken aback, and he actually insisted on automatically rewarding the 3 things of reading. 566 The shock of everyone. Open black lens bracket for automatic reward. Close black lens bracket. Chen was horrified to discover that the pupil power in his eyes was so strong, reaching such a terrifying level. Under the rotation of the power of the pupils of the eyes, a vision of heaven and earth was immediately triggered, and even the thunder of the sky was triggered by Chen, and the explosion-like force struck, making Chen himself quite surprised. I only saw that in the entire city of the rain country. It was enveloped by thunderclouds in an instant. Rolling thunderclouds pressed down, and there were thunderclouds floating in the sky. These thunderclouds were densely covered, exuding warm electricity, lightning. It was amazing, lightning and thunder. Even Lien Chen has to admit that the power of lightning is absolutely the only thing he has ever seen, and the power is even far above his, Susanoo Kirin. This is the unconscious power of Chen's eyes. The pupil power to guide the lightning, how strong it will be is absolutely terrifying. Within a radius of hundreds of kilometers, it has become a thunder field, with lightning and thunder, full of amazing chakra and yin power. This terrified the inhabitants of the entire Rain country, and everyone was horrified as they never imagined that this scene would happen. All members of Akatsuki were also surprised. All the members of Akatsuki were also dispatched, but they did not expect the scene in front of them. It seemed like a natural disaster that would destroy the world, inspiring a strong force to unyielding and erupting with great formidable power. Akatsuki's members are all stunned. Deidara walked out and looked at the wrath of the thunder in the arena in astonishment. Deidara was shocked by the roaring thunder, and said in a low voice, "This power contains chakra, who can do this?" "It's the leader, you look in the sky." But seeing Uchiha Itachi whispering, there was also a hint of deep fear and shock in his eyes. Following Uchiha Itachi's reminder, almost everyone looked at the sky subconsciously, and then they saw a particularly astonishing scene. This scene appeared, almost unforgettable for everyone. Only in the thundercloud and lightning flashes that filled the sky, Chen's figure was clearly visible. He stood in the distance with a calm expression. At this time, Chen did not deliberately hide his figure, and 9 Gudodama truth-seeking ball were suspended. The whole body of Chen is mysterious and unpredictable. These Akatsuki people had already seen them before, but they saw Chen's eyes even more exposed in front of everyone in the thunder of the sky. Blood yuhi, enchanting, mysterious. Ripples are mysterious, with 6 tomo all over it. Color is like Sharingan's blood yuhi, which made everyone look at Chen in shock. Among them, the 2 elders of the Uchiha clan looked at each other in shock. The second elder and the third elder were a bit incredulous. This is the eye of the housekeeper. The second elder and the third elder looked at each other in extreme astonishment. Chen's eyes were something they had never seen before. Set Rinnegan and Sharingan. In one, with 6 tomo, what kind of eyes are these eyes? Even the Uchiha Madara, who is recognized as the strongest and most mysterious in the history of the Uchiha clan, cannot have such eyes. Rise. The second elder was very emotional, and whispered softly, with a complicated tone, but with a strong sense of pride and pride. Chen's performance shocked the members of the Uchiha family. Yes, it is a great blessing for the Uchiha family to have Chen here. If it weren't for Chen, I'm afraid the clansmen would all be destroyed by the Konoha change. The third elder also whispered. Only Uchiha Itachi's expression changed slightly after hearing this, and there was a hint of sadness in his eyes. Regardless of. After all, he was the one who caused the Uchiha clan to perish, and he was the culprit. The former head of the family is right, only Chen can lead Uchiha to glory. Uchiha today is far stronger than when he was in Konoha. The 3 elders said with emotion. Today's Uchiha is more powerful than Konoha, and the towering tree is used as a protective umbrella. In the country of rain, the Uchiha family has been blessed. The development in these years is very fierce, far exceeding the Konoha period. Yes, for the Uchiha family, Chen is simply the savior of the world. But I heard the second elder also say with emotion. Thunder and lightning erupted in the sky, blasting continuously, skyrocketing, and the power was amazing. At this moment, Chen suddenly let out a chuckle, and with a wave of his hand, tomo in the Rinnegan turned, and a shadowy force was revealed, instantly splitting the clouds in the sky. At the same time, a Yongdun force from Chen's body shook out, making the sky sweep away the haze. Chen himself was like a sun, emitting a scorching luster, and strands of light were stimulated from Chen's body, making the clouds in the sky drift away. Immediately afterwards, a scene appeared that made everyone in Akatsuki stunned. The dark clouds and thunderclouds in the sky were all dispelled by Chen, and in the sky, a Yuhi sun appeared, exuding a little brilliance. Everyone's whole body was shocked, and they all showed incomparable astonishment. Chen he. Kurenai Yuhi looked up to the sky, a sense of shock and pride intertwined, unparalleled. Not only Kurenai Yuhi, but also Kushina, Makoto and Conan watched this scene in astonishment, and they were indeed shocked. The strength that Chen showed was too exaggerated. Especially Conan, blinking her eyes, she was totally dumbfounded. The country of rain has always been in the land of rain. Ever since Conan was born, it has been raining almost every day. This country, which has been crying all the time, has become sunny, and even the sun is high at this time because of the reason photo. It is so powerful to change the weather of a country between gestures. If you want an automatic reward to read the underlined version of the novel. 567 Sarutobi Asuma Who Killed Him. The sky in the country of rain broke Akatsuki, the sun appeared, and the rays of light shone, so that people in the city of the country of rain were also stunned by this scene. Muttered to himself. The people of these countries of rain are still very simple, they just know that Chen is their leader, and after seeing the strength and power of Chen, the people of these countries of rain are also very fond of Chen, and even worship Chen as a god. Chen glanced at the crazy people below, a faint smile appeared on the corner of his mouth, and immediately fell from the sky. Meet the leader. At this time, all the high-ranking members of Akatsuki came to meet. Nagato, Obito, Uchiha Itachi, Kaku, Todo, Deidara, Conan, Oni Shark and others all greeted Tatsu, and at the same time everyone saw the change in Tatsu's eyes. Uchiha Itachi was even slightly surprised. He and Chen were together before, and he was the most aware of Chen's current situation. Chen's eyes actually changed again. This is what he realized after the battle with Black Zetsu, but Chen lightly swept away a glance at Obito. At this time, Obito was also immersed in the great changes brought about by Chen's eyes, and he was quite surprised in his heart. He never imagined that this would be the case. Obito's eyes flickered, and there was a trace of shock in his eyes. He already felt that Chen's strength was getting stronger and stronger. It seemed that he had to complete the capture plan of the tailed beast earlier, so as to bring Uchiha Madara back to life, otherwise who can stop Chen's footsteps? Even Uchiha Madara, I am afraid that it may not be able to stop Chen's footsteps. Obito sighed, thinking in his heart. Obito still doesn't know Uchiha Madara's trump card, so Chen is still a little afraid and jealous. From Obito's point of view, there is probably no one in the ninja world who is Tatsu's opponent. Chen glanced at Obito and saw that Obito looked strange, but he didn't react too much. His heart moved slightly. It seemed that Obito hadn't noticed the death of Black Zetsu. It seems that Black Zetsu also acted privately, using Indra's corpse to attack Chen. Can only be said that Black Zetsu killed himself. At present, Obito obviously doesn't know this situation, and he is probably thinking about how to catch the tailed beast. It seems that he has put more and more pressure on Obito. Chen smiled lightly. At present, one tail is in hand, and the other tailed beasts will follow. This time, Chen intends to let everyone split up and quickly capture the tailed beast. Chen reached the double-eyed riding wheel Rinnegan, and his strength is comparable to that of the original Six Paths Immortal. This terrifying strength makes Chen no longer need to be restrained. I believe that even if he really meets Kagaya-hime, Chen will have the strength to fight. The gap between Chen and Kagaya-hime is narrowing. If Chen can raise the pupil power of his eyes to 9 tomo, I believe he may even surpass Kagaya-hime. So Chen also plans to speed up the collection of tailed beasts. This time Sasori is dead, and I want you all to pay attention. Chen someone said lightly. Sasori's death, the news spread to everyone's ears, which made everyone a little surprised, except for Uchiha Itachi. Everyone didn't know the news before. Sasori is actually at a loss, and I still think it's him. Deidara pouted, first startled, then surprised. Deidara is curious as to who can kill Sasori, or who has the ability to kill Sasori. If Akatsuki's strength is ranked 1, then Sasori must be in the upper circle, definitely not weak. Chen glanced at everyone and said lightly, Didera, you and Obito go to arrest Sanwei. Let Obito use the code name of Afei. Yes. Obito and Didera nodded immediately. Ghost Shark, you and Uchiha Itachi, go catch the four tails. Yes. Onigiri and Uchiha Itachi appear, and the combination of these two is one of the strongest among Akatsuki. Oni Shark and Uchiha Itachi are very good. Zhao, you are alone, go and arrest her and too. Quote. Chen said lightly. Yes. Corner, they all nodded. After assigning the general tasks, Chen Bian said, the next thing is simple, everyone remember, be sure to capture all the tailed beasts back. Yes. When everyone heard Chen's words, they all nodded and looked at Chen respectfully. After Chen assigned the task, he let everyone disperse, but Nagato stared blankly at Chen and said, Leader, what should I do? Chen was startled, narrowed his eyes and looked at Nagato. For a while he almost ignored Nagato. Although Nagato's personality is a bit weak and easily bewitched, his strength is the strongest among all Akatsuki that deserves it except Tatsuki. That Rinnegan's ability makes him even have the ability to solo the current Konoha. Chen Dao, well, go catch Nanwei and Luwei. Yes. Nagato left. Chen made a rough calculation, and the remaining tailed beasts are only 5 tails. 8 tails and Kyubi, 9 tails. According to this progress, it seems that the collection of tailed beasts is getting closer and closer, and the next thing is the 4th Ninja War. Before that, though, there seems to be a little bit of something to deal with. For more than a month, Chen was on the tower in the Land of Rain. Conan, how are things going with Naruto and Sasuke recently? Today, Chen asked. Naruto and Sasuke are the two objects that Chen cares about most. Naruto has been working hard recently, practicing new ninjutsu, and it seems that he is preparing to add nature transformation to Rasengan. And Sasuke's growth is even more amazing. His current strength is already very strong, and it is estimated that he is even close to a cage-level powerhouse when he uses his full strength. Conan also replied softly. Orochimaru seems impatient. He wants to take over Sasuke's body. Well. Chen pondered, the plot has indeed reached this stage. By the way, there is one more little thing to tell you. Conan suddenly whispered, leaned close to Chen's ear, and said in a low voice, in the village of Konoha, there is a ninja named Sarutobi Asuma, who seems to be obsessed with Yuhi, and is asking about Yuhi's whereabouts everywhere. He seems to have a coveted heart for Yuhi. Chen's brows furrowed immediately. Now Yuhi is his person. This Asuma, he actually did this to death. Fei Lu reminds you. 568 They all call me Legend of the Stars. Chen narrowed his eyes. Since Kurenai Yuhi had the courage to follow Tatsu last time, she has since become Tatsu's woman, accompanied by Tatsu's side, with Tatsu. But there was an accident and change. That is Sarutobi Asuma. Sarutobi Asuma has always liked Kurenai Yuhi. This is very clear, even in the original book. But Kurenai Yuhi is just the most ordinary friendship with Sarutobi Asuma, that's all. But looking at Conan's information, Asuma seems to have been obsessed with Yuhi all these years, making Chen frown slightly, feeling very unhappy in his heart. Of course he was unhappy for a reason. Seeing Chen frowning, Conan gently smoothed his brows for Chen, and smiled softly. Brother Chen, he's just a small character, don't worry about it. I know, I just thought it was funny. Chen said, but it seems that Asuma's death is not far away. Zhao, what the hell is that guy doing? Conan didn't understand why Chen suddenly mentioned Zhao. So he said softly, Zhao has now successfully captured the two-tailed human Jinchuriki column force, and took the second two-tailed from the human Jinchuriki column force. Extracted from the body. But Zhao, it seems that this time he caused trouble. Zhao, because of the bounty, he killed a monk named Lu and got a bounty of 30 million yuan. I heard that this monk is a bit powerful. Chen's eyes lit up slightly. Zhao, all killed the monk Lu, which means that the next step is Asuma looking for Zhao. Do's plot. Exactly, there is a way to heaven if you don't go, and there is no door to hell to break in. Asuma just bumped into it. Chen won't let Asuma go easily. Chen Dao, tell Zhao, Do, I will find him personally. Chen, you actually have to go there yourself. Conan looked at Chen in confusion, and Chen's figure was clearly reflected in those eyes. Chen smiled and said, well, I'm going to take a trip. Staying in the land of rain is a bit boring, so let me play. I just want to go to Sarutobi Asuma, and I dare to make Yuhi's idea. A cold light flashed in Chen's eyes, revealing murderous intent. Conan said softly, well, that's what I said. Since you know something, let's teach you a good lesson. Conan smiled and took Chen's arm. Chen instructed Conan, and then left. Chen quickly found Zhao Du had arrived at Conan's notice at this time, knowing that Chen was about to come, and obediently waiting for Chen's arrival. Soon, Chen arrived. Master Chief. Zhao, they are all very respectful towards Chen, bowing their heads towards Chen. Well, the task of capturing the second and second tails has been completed. I don't know if the leader is here. Zhao, I am a little puzzled, and even more uneasy, so I asked softly. 2 to 2-tailed capture mission corner. All have been completed, successfully solved the 2 to 2-tailed Jinchuriki column force, and the 2 Yugito. Don't worry, I didn't come because your task was completed, but a few little ants may come to trouble you in a while, so I'll come here first. Chen said lightly. Little ant. Zhao, I'm a little puzzled. It's just a few little ants. It's worth Chen's shot. What kind of strength is the leader? Why should I care about other people? Chen narrowed his eyes and said, I just want to kill people. An overwhelming murderous intent overflowed from Chen's body, making Zhao, all of them stunned. I really don't know who actually provoked Chen. I really don't know which unlucky bastard it was. Zhao, thinking like this, I soon saw a chakra approaching. Chen wears a mask, but still maintains a mystery, and at this time Asuma came with a team. Asuma, Shikamaru, Yamashiro Aoba, and Zule and others came together, chasing the corner, all. Zhao, they all narrowed their eyes slightly, as expected, as the leader said, there are some small ants. Zhao, Du, the monk you killed once had a relationship with the person in front of him, and he came to kill you on purpose. Chen said lightly. Hearing Chen say this, Zhao, I finally understand the reason. Asuma, Shikamaru, Yamashiro Aoba and others all appeared in the arena, all of them staring coldly at Chen and Zhao Du. Sure enough, it's Akatsuki's person. Kakashi once said about this organization. It is said that the leader of it is probably Uchiha Madara, that is, you. Shikamaru has the most brilliant mind and plays the role of a military advisor, looking at Chen analytically. Kakashi mistook Chen for Uchiha Madara before, but Chen also let him misunderstand without defending it. But at this time, seeing Shikamaru's straightforward analysis, he was a little speechless. Uchiha Madara, he is also worthy of our leader. At this time, Zhao, all sneered in disdain. Asuma, Shikamaru and the others all looked at each other and felt a little unusual. Could it be that this person is not Uchiha Madara? While everyone was watching, Chen took off his mask at will, and said lightly, I am not Uchiha Madara. Throughout the 5 kingdoms of the ninja world, countless small countries, hundreds of millions of people, tens of thousands of ninjas, as well as Jonin and the Strong, all call me to be the legend of the stars. Chen took off his mask. For a time, Asuma and others were stunned. In front of me is actually a legend of the stars that shocked the ninja world. If you want an automatic reward to read the underlined version of the novel. 569 is that you. Chen's identity was finally revealed. Akatsuki's leader turned out to be the famous legend of the stars. At present, the ninja world is the pinnacle and the most legendary existence. Who would have thought that Chen was the leader of Akatsuki? It's you, you're the leader of Akatsuki. After a short period of consternation, Shikamaru directly accepted this fact, his eyes flashed, and he already had a decision in his heart. This is definitely a shocking news for the ninja world. Thinking of Uchiha-chan's identity here, Shikamaru wanted to pass on this information, but his mind moved slightly, and he was shy. It is said that Uchiha-chan and Hokage Tsunade have a close relationship, and they are both good and evil, and I don't know what is going on. Uchiha-chan. At this time, he saw Asuma looking at Chen with a trace of fear and even a trace of hostility in his eyes. Asuma looked at Chen with a strong hostility in his eyes. Asuma looked at Chen coldly and whispered, "Where is Yuhi?" Chen glanced at Asuma unexpectedly, but he didn't expect that Asuma's first sentence when he opened his mouth was to ask where Yuhi was. "Asuma, you are seriously ill. Yuhi is my woman now, what are you trying to say?" Chen said lightly, narrowing his eyes. Asuma shouted angrily, "How can you say Yuhi is your woman? I have liked Yuhi for so many years, she must like me too, but she was just bewitched by you. I didn't expect you to be the leader of Akatsuki. Yuhi is right, people like you must be utterly scorned. The shame of you ninja world, the shame of Uchiha." Asuma's face turned to Yuhi, extremely angry, extremely annoyed, and looked at Chen coldly, with anger in his eyes. It seemed that Asuma was really angry. He was very annoyed by Chen's explanation, his eyes were full of anger, and they burst out. His eyes could almost shoot out fire, and his anger rose. Asuma's heart was full of anger, and he wanted to kill Chen. Chen sneered, he could see Asuma's emotions. He didn't expect that Asuma's hostility towards him was so deep, but thinking about it was normal. Asuma was only afraid of being very affectionate towards Yuhi, that's why he had such a big hostility towards Chen. "Teacher Asuma, the other party is a legend of the stars, we can't do it rashly." Shikamaru remained calm at this time, and with a low voice, stopped Asuma. Asuma barely suppressed his excitement, but still looked at Chen with an angry expression, as if he might rush up at any time. Chen shrugged, but Ma didn't see it at all. To Chen, Asuma was indeed an unimportant little character. Of course, now this little character is completely annoyed. Someone who dared to beat his daughter's idea was so arrogant in front of him, and this fire-breathing posture was like engulfing Chen, and his eyes were full of anger. What Chen hates the most is this feeling, after the strength of 6 paths, who else can see it so arrogantly in front of him? With the appearance of Asuma, Chen unconsciously filled with disgust. "Sarutobi Asuma." Chen looked at Asuma in a low voice and said softly. In fact, Chen and Asuma don't have many intersections. Even when Asuma was young, Chen didn't see Asuma a few times. Therefore, although Asuma has always known that Chen is strong, he has never known the depth of Chen, plus he was swept away by anger, so he has such an unbearable performance. Shikamaru also sensed Tatsu's hostility towards Asuma, and even Tatsu's murderous intent towards Asuma. Shikamaru's expression changed slightly, and he whispered to Lei Tong and Yamashiro Aoba, "The two of you will take advantage of Uchiha Chen's attack in a moment, test his depth, and see how strong this legendary star legend really is. Under the current situation, it is impossible for us to retreat completely, we can only test his strength." Complexion of Sui Leitung and Shancheng Qingye are a bit ugly, but they have seen Chen display his strength. It is absolutely shocking and terrifying, and the existence of ordinary ninjas is not a dimension at all. Thinking of this, a complex color flashed in the eyes of the two of them, and they were a little timid. "Don't hesitate, or we won't even have a chance." Shikamaru was very decisive and shouted. Sui Leitong and Yamashiro Aoba all moved in response. Their bodies flashed instantly, and they all attacked Chen. Shikamaru was right, and he couldn't hesitate any longer, otherwise it would be a complete loss. And Zhu Leitong and Yamashiro Aoba moved, all of them attacked Chen, and they attacked. And Zhu Leitong shouted, "Radiant Thunder Style, 4 Jinchuriki, Column Thunder and Lightning Techniques." Yamashiro Aoba is also Fast Hand Seal, Sweetened Water Style, Water Dragon Bullet. Radiant Thunder Style and Sweetened Water Style are one, the two rolls with intense chakra power, whizzing towards Chen, attacking frantically, trying to fight for a bit of life. Chen but curled his lips and said coldly, "It's really sad, a few flies also want to do something to me, especially you Asuma, and even make unkind words to me. It's fine, let you all die without a place to be buried." Chen spoke coldly. He saw a powerful force emerge from Chen's body. Chen's eyes turned, and the sixth tomo of Samsara Sharingan spun. Originally, to deal with these little flies, Chen did not need to use pupil power at all. But Asuma and others succeeded in making Chen feel a little angry, and Chen immediately used himself to reincarnate Sharingan. Zhao! Everyone quickly retreated to one side, leaving the battlefield space to Chen, obediently shrinking into the corner, and at the same time excitedly whispering, "Finally I can see again, the leader's artistic pupil power is the strongest. The power." I only saw that Chen used his pupil power, which represented his power to control gravity. This force suddenly struck, swept the space, and instantly locked both Lei Tong and Shancheng Qingye. 570 seconds kill, huge gap. Chen's eyes moved slightly, and a strong pressure hit and swept out, directly using Samsara Sharingan's ability to control gravity. The pressure hits like an overwhelming sea, and in an instant, it is imprisoned and the figure of the two is exactly the same. Both of them felt very strange. They only felt that their expressions changed, and they could feel that their whole body was imprisoned by this pupil force, as if they were directly pressed by thousands of mountains, and they could not move at all. Unable to move, all color changed, feeling this majestic force. So strong. They looked at Aoba, the mountain city next to them, in the same way, and the two looked at each other, both seeing the shock in each other's eyes. Strong, it is too strong. And what kind of strange power did Uchiha Chen use? You know that Uchiha Chen just glanced at them. How could it happen that they didn't even know what happened? Just Yamashiro Aoba, who was instantly stunned and looked to the side, was completely stunned, shocked, and there was extreme shock in his eyes. And Yamashiro Aoba looked at each other, both at a loss, and even Shikamaru in the distance shuddered, stunned and whispered, "I have long heard that Uchiha Chen's strength is the strongest in the ninja world today, but now it looks like it's not just the strongest." Shikamaru had never seen Chen's strength with his own eyes, and this was the first time he had seen Chen's strength, and he was completely shocked in his heart. Completely intimidated. Uchiha Chen. Shikamaru murmured this name. In fact he had heard this name a lot, but it was all from his father Nara Shikaku, Akamichi Choza and others. His father Nara Shikaku often said that if Chen is still there, Konoha, then the current Konoha is definitely the head of the 5 kingdoms, and there is even hope of unifying the ninja world. Nara Shikaku mentioned Chen's tone of sigh and a sense of reverence was imprinted in Nara Shikamaru's heart early, making Shikamaru full of curiosity about this legendary character, even more so now. Has to be said that meeting is more famous. After seeing Chen again, Shikamaru was also completely shocked. It turns out that there really is such a person in this world. His strength seems to have long exceeded the scope of ninjas. Just looking at it makes it difficult for everyone to mention it. Courage to deal with him. It's terrifying to be an enemy with someone like that. Peizu Leitong and Shancheng Qingyi looked at Chen in a daze, with a bit of astonishment in their eyes. In such a situation, Peitong and Yamashiro Aoba didn't know what Chen would do with them. Die. Chen whispered to himself. There was still no movement, but his expression was as if his companions spit out these 2 words. A strong pressure hit in the air, and bursts of shocking airflow erupted, and at the same time Chen's eyes shrank slightly, and he saw the strong pressure hit. At the same time, the bodies of Lei Tong and Yi were directly blown open in midair. With a bang. The bodies of the 2 of them exploded directly in midair, and a strong force burst out, attacking violently, pressing and oppressing them, turning their bodies into a cloud of blood. Death. Kazule Tong and Yamashiro Aoba are Konoha's special Jonin, the real strength of which is even stronger than some ordinary Jonin, often performing some special tasks. This time, it was a direct death. These 2 special Jonin, even Chen's blow could not be resisted, and they died directly. The strength that Chen showed was indeed earth-shattering, shocking, strange and mysterious, and difficult to measure. How could Chen's strength reach such a terrifying level? Shikamaru was in a cold sweat, looked at Chen with a strange look, and thought to himself, this is still the level that a human can achieve, such a terrifying strength, and that pair of the bewitching eyes, this is the legend of the stars. It's a pity that he just wanted to let the two of them contain Chen. Now it seems that this is such a naive and ridiculous idea. Shikamaru himself smiled bitterly, with a bitter smile on the corners of his mouth, feeling that he was too naive just now. I didn't expect his strength to have reached this level. Although I have heard about it for a long time, I always thought that the rumors were exaggerated, but now I see that the rumors are not only not exaggerated, but they are too small. Shikamaru shook his head and muttered to himself. There, Asuma was also stunned. That's right, Asuma saw Lei Tong and Aoba Yamashiro deal with Chen, but in an instant, he failed immediately after just a glance at Chen. A flash of stunnedness flashed in his eyes, completely surprised, extremely shocked. It can only be said that Chen's strength is indeed too strong, causing Asuma to sweat coldly, clearly feeling the huge gap. This gap is simply like a moat, insurmountable. Such a terrifying gap made Asuma feel a deep shock in his heart, and he couldn't help but flash waves of fear in his eyes, and even his eyes shrank a little when he looked at Chen. Asuma, who was still in high spirits just now, wilted in an instant. Second kill, this is a complete second kill. Asuma was drenched in cold sweat, he never expected Chen's wrist to be so ruthless. Both Asuma and Shikamaru felt that they were being watched by Chen's mysterious eyes, and even Asuma felt that he didn't even have the courage to stand up, and his whole body was soaked in sweat. Now, what do we do now we're dead? Shikamaru's brain turned sharply, and found that his always useful brain had also lost its processing power. In the face of this absolute strength, he has nothing to do. Chen glanced at the two of them and sneered. Of course Chen will not be merciful, and he will never show mercy to his enemies. If you want to read the novel without underline automatically. 571 torture you to death. You. Asuma reluctantly made a sound, although he was afraid, he still did not want to bow his head to Chen, and shouted in anger, Uchiha Chen, you devil, where has Yuhi been taken by you? I must kill you. Damn. At this time, Asuma also hated Chen to the extreme. After seeing the death of the same two people, Asuma was terrified at first, but soon the situation towards Chen changed. He became even more angry at Chen, and even raised his anger to the extreme. To kill Chen. But he had no choice. Asuma, you really are. Chen shook his head. I really don't know what to say about Asuma. This Asuma is too arrogant, and he is still stubborn when he is about to die. It is not ordinary arrogance. Thinking of this, Chen narrowed his eyes filled with a bit of anger. This Asuma challenged Chen's bottom line time and time again. Chen never intended to let him go, and now he doesn't even plan to let him go. Asuma was imprisoned by Chen, and he was still cursing, and the cursing was really not unpleasant. In his opinion, Kurenai Yuhi was completely taken away by Chen and forcibly occupied. If it weren't for Chen's existence, he could have lived together with Kurenai Yuhi. So his hatred for Chen grew day by day. Every time he thought of Kurenai Yuhi, he couldn't help cursing Chen, which led to the current situation. Asuma scolded angrily, while Shikamaru next to him felt more and more that the situation was not good. The current situation is that the Uchiha Chen in front of him is like a cat, and they are bound mice, and Chen can easily shoot them to death. The strength is too strong, the difference between the two is too far, even Shikamaru doesn't know what to do. Chen's strength is too strange, and there is no way to start, so Shikamaru can't even analyze it. In the face of absolute strength, all conspiracies and tricks are all in vain. Shikamaru sighed, and seeing Asuma who was constantly cursing, he sighed inwardly. Mr. Asuma still doesn't understand the situation. They are really lost now. I just hope that it doesn't really anger Uchiha-chan completely, Otherwise, Shikamaru shuddered a little at the thought of not knowing what kind of thing Uchiha-chan would do. Asuma was still cursing Chen constantly, even roaring out loud, swearing at Chen's name. The voice was extremely ugly. Asuma is also crazy now. Asuma's curses were heard in the far corners. They were all furious, and said solemnly, "Leader, let me kill him, this guy is too arrogant." "No, I'll come. Asuma, since you curse fast, I'll give you a taste of the burning of your soul." Chen stopped Zhao Du's actions, speaking lightly. I only saw Chen's figure move, and a group of flames appeared in his eyes. Amaterasu. The fire of Amaterasu in white. Deal with scum like Asuma. Chen certainly doesn't need his own fire of Senluo, but he chose to use the fire of Amaterasu. The white flame was extremely hot, burning every inch of Asuma's body. Asuma's expression changed instantly. It was extremely painful. He screamed. His voice was extremely miserable, and he couldn't utter a word, so he screamed again and again. Asuma has always coveted Kurenai Yuhi in his heart, and because of this, he hated Chen, so he was very angry. However, under Chen's Amaterasu attack, he was completely breached the line of defense. His eyes flashed with a deep stunned color, and he screamed in agony. It was as if it had been scorched by the fire of hell. The power of Amaterasu is indeed extremely terrifying, especially Chen's Amaterasu or a mutant Amaterasu combined with Yongdun. Burning on the human body is like burning directly on the soul. Was no doubt that the mighty power made Asuma scream in agony. Asuma's screams gradually dissipated, because at this time Asuma could no longer scream, and Amaterasu spread all over Asuma's body. Chen can't be merciful. Asuma first made Kurenai Yuhi's idea, and then made a rude remark to himself, and even tried to kill. Chen can't be stupid enough to let Asuma go. So under such circumstances, after Asuma was suffering, Chen sneered and used his Amaterasu to completely end Asuma's life. Asuma, die. Chen directly pronounced Asuma's death, because Amaterasu.'s fire burned Asuma's whole body to the ground. Asuma died without leaving a trace. Since then, there is no such person as Asuma in this world. Chen coldly glanced at Asuma's non-existent corpse, and finally got rid of Asuma. Chen felt a lot of joy, otherwise Asuma would be really disgusting. Master Chief, how do you deal with this kid in front of you, or leave it to me to deal with it? Zhao. They all looked at Chen and asked in a low voice, looking very respectful. Chen thought about it and glanced at Shikamaru. Shikamaru was immediately horrified and didn't know what to do. Of the stars in front of him was the first person to give him such a sense of powerlessness. It was too strong and terrible. The unfathomable strength made Shikamaru completely unsure of how to deal with Chen, and he felt uneasy in his heart, not knowing what to do, just do it well. At this time, I heard Chen indifferently say, "No need, this kid's father used to have a little friendship with me, so let him let go for a while, but even if he is let go, he can't go back to Konoha to expose me. It's okay to be known by Tsunade, but it would be a little troublesome if it was known by others." Chen is of course not afraid of his identity being exposed, but once his identity is exposed, Tsunade is only afraid that he will be criticized in Konoha village. Thinking of this, Tatsuya has a solution. It's very simple, just use Sharingan's hypnotism to make Shikamaru forget what happened during this time. Chen also did not intend to kill Shikamaru. After all, the relationship between Ino Shikacho and Chen was not bad. 572 Orochimaru's obsession, the contest of containers. Open black lens bracket for automatic reward, close black lens bracket. Shikamaru, forget everything that happened during this time, forget the reason for Asuma's death, forget that you've seen me, and forget all this from beginning to end. Chen whispered. The sixth Tomo's reincarnation Sharingan kept turning, easily tampering with Shikamaru's memory. Shikamaru's eyes gradually became extremely confused, and at the moment of contact with Cheng, they gradually recovered, and finally looked at Chen in a daze. with a look of incomparable confusion in his eyes, he nodded lightly, with a little mechanical response. Yes, I know. Very good. Chen smiled. Chen let Shikamaru leave, and the relationship with the Ino-Shika-Cho trio was not bad at the beginning, especially Akamichi Choza was Chen's younger brother, and Chen also gave the Ino-Shika-Cho trio a face and let Shikamaru a little life was left. Of course, this is without harming Chen's own interests. Let Shikamaru leave. Chen narrowed his eyes, looked at Zhao Du again, and said in a low voice, "Let's go, Zhao Du." "Yes, Chief." Zhao Du looked at Chen apprehensively and respectfully. After seeing Chen's various methods, Zhao Du worshipped Chen like a god in his heart, especially after seeing Chen's growth. Back then, Zhao Du saw Chen grow from a cage-level powerhouse all the way, and finally reached the current situation. It can be said that Zhao Du is even one of Chen's witnesses, which is exactly the same. Zhao Du, the reverence for Chen is also growing, because I am afraid that no one knows better than him how terrible Chen's strength is. Across the ninja world, 5 countries, countless effects, hundreds of thousands of ninjas, Uchiha Chen in front of them, they are just ants-like existences. I'm afraid that the only ones who can oppose Chen are the masters of the legendary 6 paths level. Zhao, they all looked up at Chen and thought to themselves, as if they were watching a legend. "Leader, what shall we do next?" But I saw Zhao, they all asked in a low voice, and said to Chen. Chen thought for a while, then said, "Contact Deidara, Oni Shark and Uchiha Itachi, and see how Sanwei and Fourtails are doing." This time Akatsuki's assigned task, Deidara and Obito's pseudonym Afei are in charge of catching Sanwei, while Oni Shark and Uchiha Itachi are catching Fourtails. Chen is very clear that the 3 tails and the 4 tails are definitely not the opponents of Deidara, the Ghost Shark, etc. There should be news now. Zhao, they immediately contacted the Ghost Shark and Deidara using Akatsuki's unique contact information. After getting a definite answer, they said to Chen, "Master Chief, the Ghost Shark and Deidara have successfully captured the 3 tails and the 4 tails, and now we are waiting for them." The tailed beast was extracted from the body of the human Jinchuriki column force, allowing Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, to absorb the power of the tailed beast. Chen narrowed his eyes and nodded slightly. The 3 tails are in a state without the power of the Jinchuriki column, while the Jinchuriki column power of the 4 tails is the old purple who once fought with Tatsuchi, and the people of Iwagakure village. Of the 3rd and 4th tails also made Chen's heart feel a little more, and a slight smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. The 3 tails and the 4 tails were captured well, and things were much simpler. We'll see Orochimaru and Sasuke next. Dynamic. Chen narrowed his eyes and said to himself. That's right, next is the highlight of Orochimaru Kazuma. Orochimaru can't wait to use Sasuke as his body container, and of course Sasuke will not sit still. Sasuke is also looking for an opportunity to turn against Orochimaru and deal with Orochimaru. In the current situation, the atmosphere between Orochimaru and Sasuke is already tense, which is very interesting. Sasuke, it seems that you have grown a lot. Would you like to go to Tianjiguo? Chen has some anticipation in his heart, because after this time, Orochimaru may not be able to recover for a long time. And Sasuke will also be free and stronger, and will eventually challenge Uchiha Itachi. The young eagle at the beginning has finally grown up. Chen also had some emotion in his heart, seeing so many changes in the ninja world, especially the growth between Naruto and Sasuke, which also indicates that the plot is getting closer and closer. Your Majesty. Corner, both asked. Zhao Du, you should go back to the land of rain first. Let Deidara and the others devour Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, to devour the power of the tail beast. Chen has already planned to go to the country of Tien. Yes. Zhao all said respectfully, he was used to Chen's mystery. Chen smiled, his figure flashed and disappeared instantly. Madara is not worried about the matter of the rain country. At present, the Black Hand of Black Zetsu has been eliminated by Chen, and the remaining people are not Chen's opponents, so Chen is also at ease about everything in the Rain Country. Country of Tien. Orochimaru's secret base. Orochimaru was alone on the bed, while Orochimaru was waiting beside him. Orochimaru respectfully, he said, "Lord Orochimaru, our preparations are now complete, and we can start changing at any time. The container is only on Sasuke's side." He hesitated, but Orochimaru was very clear about the meaning he wanted to express. Orochimaru narrowed his eyes and coughed. "That's abominable, that kid Sasuke has grown so much recently, he won't be willing to be my container, damn it." Orochimaru was extremely annoyed. He had already anticipated the next result, and it would not be easy to get Sasuke's container. The Sharingan of the Uchiha clan is really not that easy to get. It can be said that Sasuke's growth has exceeded his imagination, and at the same time, he was instantly killed by Chen last time. Although he was resurrected by using the curse mark, the sequelae seemed to be more serious than Orochimaru imagined, which made Orochimaru sigh secretly. "Damn, Uchiha-chan, I must get Sharingan, and finally win you." Orochimaru is still there. "I have a daydream of catching up with Uchiha-chan." Although the plot has been changed by Chen in this world, Orochimaru is no longer obsessed with Uchiha Itachi, but his obsession with Chen is no better than his obsession with Uchiha Itachi in the original work. Think less. 573 Why are you here? Open black lens bracket for automatic reward. Close black lens bracket. Soon, Chen was approaching the country of Tien, and he heard all the words of Orochimaru on the sickbed, and the corners of his mouth twitched into a chuckle. Chen's eyes moved slightly, and everything he said to Orochimaru was remembered in his heart. It seems that Orochimaru's obsession with him is really not ordinary, but this is normal. Orochimaru is such a proud and arrogant person, but he has been killed and abused by Chen more than once. There is a lot of resentment, which is very normal. Thinking of this, Chen didn't make a sound, and observed it secretly. Orochimaru was basically in a bedridden state at this time, and his body could only barely move, although the chakra in the body was still there. But this chakra could not be fully utilized, so it is not an exaggeration to call it a major loss of strength. Compared to Orochimaru's peak state, Orochimaru in front of him is probably not as good as Kakashi. Orochimaru's injury was a bit more serious than Tatsu expected. Poor Orochimaru, _ Chen chuckled lightly, keeping a playful attitude towards this Orochimaru who had been chasing his footsteps. Because Chen was even worried that Orochimaru would catch up with him. From Chen's point of view, the experiments that Orochimaru studied from beginning to end were just crooked ways, and Chen's cultivation, Chen's yin and yang escape, followed the Great Road. Compared to him, Orochimaru is absolutely incomparable. The two are completely incomparable. Orochimaru coughed repeatedly on the sickbed, and even blood dripped from the corner of his mouth. Seeing this scene, I immediately got a little nervous and said, "Sir Orochimaru, are you all right? It seems that this body is approaching its limit. No, I have to replace the container, otherwise it won't hold up anymore. Go and find Sasuke." Orochimaru thought about it, and finally made a decision. But Sasuke him. Very hesitant, but seeing Orochimaru's state, he finally nodded slightly and said, "Yes, I understand. I have already gone to Sasuke." After about 10 minutes, Sasuke was brought in, but he left the room and left the space for Orochimaru, and Sasuke also knew in his heart that the next battle was definitely not something he could intervene in. At this time, the strength is still weak, and the capture of the container must be done by the caster, so it can only be watched on the side. Forth outside the door, I was a little anxious about Orochimaru's state at this time, and murmured, "Master Orochimaru, I really don't know what Master Orochimaru is now." Pacing back and forth, at this time, he suddenly felt another strange shadow in front of him, and he was shocked, knowing that someone appeared in front of him. Who? Head sharply, his film suddenly brightened, and the kunai in his hand was picked up, and the extremely sharp kunai appeared in the light. A layer of arc light was reflected below, and he looked coldly ahead. However, there was no one in front of him. In his heart, he wondered, could it be that he saw it wrong? It was impossible. It was absolutely impossible that he saw it wrong. He just saw a shadow approaching him. Thinking of this, his expression changed slightly. Then, there is only one explanation for this. The opponent's strength must be far stronger than his own, which is why it is so terrifying. Chen's voice came from all directions, all pervasive, and even brought the effect of Mount Myoboku's use of sound to inject demonic illusion, which caused a sense of loss in an instant. This sound made him lose his mind for a while. He was immersed in Chen's demonic illusion, but he quickly recovered, which was also Chen's intention. Chen didn't deliberately cast demonic illusion, otherwise, how could he still be alive? You are. I just felt that this voice was a little familiar, and I couldn't help but think of a person he didn't want to recall in his nightmares. It's scary. Couldn't help trembling all over. There was a hint of fear in my eyes, and whispered, You, why are you here? You are the legend of the stars Uchiha Chen. Although it was said that he had only seen Chen once, his impression of Chen was still fresh in his memory, and he could fully imagine what kind of existence Uchiha Chen was and how terrifying it was. At the beginning, he was controlled by Chen unknowingly, and he didn't even have the ability to resist. It seems to be the case now. Chen appeared in front of him, and finally saw Chen's true face once. It's just that this time I saw it, but it was more shocking than the last time I saw it. Compared with the last time, Uchiha Chen's appearance has hardly changed. He is still so young, still handsome, and has a mysterious taste. Especially Uchiha Chen's eyes were completely different from before. Uchiha Chen's eyes turned into blood yuhi plus ripples and 6 tomo, which made him lose his mind in an instant. Even when Zai Chen saw such a glance, he almost knelt down. The sense of oppression brought by Chen was too strong, and this force was directly imprinted in his heart, and he couldn't extricate himself. In fact, this was also done on purpose by Chen. Chen is very clear. In fact, in the later stage of the plot, after getting Orochimaru's cells, he has been completely kidnapped by Orochimaru and became the big snake Kabuto. At this time, he has almost become a big and not simple character in the Hokage world. Under such circumstances, Chen must cast a strong shadow in his heart, so that when he sees Chen, he instinctively fears. It doesn't matter how strong the future is, when you meet Chen, you can only be terrified and terrified. To think about how to scare this future big into this. Please automatically reward. The 3 things of reading are collected, recommended, and scored. 574 Born Avengers. Chen has already made detailed plans. First of all, he has decided to leave a shadow in his heart, so that when he sees Chen again in the future, he will show absolute horror. Therefore, under such circumstances, Chen is indeed extremely frightened, because the strength of Chen's display and performance is really too strong, and in addition, Chen was controlled when he was young, so at this time, Chen is also full of terrified, totally shocked. Chen's appearance filled him with surprise and astonishment. Chen said lightly, "It's really sad." Chen said coldly, making his eyes full of fear again. I only saw that Chen used the gravity control of his Samsara Sharingan at this time, and suddenly felt that he was being suppressed and oppressed by thousands of forces, and he even wanted to kneel directly on the ground. A majestic force struck, which shocked him. He fell softly to the ground, even kneeling on the ground, facing Chen full of fear. How could this be? Since I think that although there is still a huge gap in strength compared to Chen, it is not so strong, but how could it be that just by looking at Chen, I felt a huge pressure, and even knelt directly on the ground? This is why is the cold sweat falling. The heart is completely unable to understand and think about Chen's power, shocking to the extreme. His eyes are full of thick horror, and I don't know what to say. You are too weak. I only need one thought to kill you now. Chen whispered. And the color of fear in his eyes is getting stronger and stronger. He is a person who cherishes his life very much, and he is a bit similar to Orochimaru in this point. Therefore, after hearing Chen say this, the color of fear in his eyes revealed, only afraid of Chen. Will kill himself. Looking at Chen's eyes is also full of shock. At this time, Chen smiled faintly. Don't worry, I won't kill you. The one who loses this time should be Orochimaru. You can just live on like this, go find strength. Chen looked down, making his heart full of anger, but there was nothing he could do. Hearing that Chen said that the loser this time would be Orochimaru, there was another thump in his heart, and there was a bad premonition in his heart. If Orochimaru-sama loses and has been clinging to Orochimaru to survive, he doesn't know what will happen to him if he loses Orochimaru's guidance, which makes him stunned for a moment. His eyes are full of confusion. Chen smiled lightly, and his eyes turned to the room again. Although his sight was blocked by the door, Chen could perceive the result of this battle through the door through his powerful perception ability. The current Orochimaru is even weaker than in the plot, so he is not Sasuke's opponent at all. In addition, between life and death, Sasuke also inspired his own strength and showed strong strength, so that Orochimaru could not resist Sasuke's attack. And Orochimaru was still. Help! On the ground were all the corpses of that big white snake, broken into pieces, blood dripping all over the floor, extremely terrifying. Orochimaru's chakra is also lost, even gradually dissipating. Under such circumstances, everyone thought that Orochimaru was dead. Master Orochimaru. I was extremely shocked, but I didn't expect that everything was as Chen expected. Orochimaru actually died. Sasuke wins. Confused in his heart, he fell to his knees directly on the ground, muttering to himself, lost his spiritual support Jinchuriki column, and didn't know what to do. Chen sneered, the current one has not yet grown up, and in essence, he is also a fragile person, and his spirit is very fragile. Once he loses the spiritual branch of Orochimaru, Jinchuriki column, he is already on the verge of collapse. Orochimaru is dead. Sasuke also consumed a lot of chakra at this time, but through this battle, Sasuke also grew a lot. Putting away the Kusanagi sword, Sasuke felt that he finally had the strength to challenge Uchiha Itachi. At this time, Sasuke took a deep breath and strode out of the door, leaving Orochimaru's stronghold. With my current strength, I must find Uchiha Itachi and kill that man. But I still need a group of helpers, so I'll find helpers in this stronghold of Orochimaru. But speaking of which, if I can find the most powerful man in the legendary Uchiha clan, Uchiha Chen, the Legend of the Stars, to guide me, I might be able to kill Uchiha Itachi very easily. Sasuke's eyes flickered, and he thought to himself. However, Sasuke himself is also arrogant. He did not intend to go to Chen first, but directly prepared to kill Uchiha Itachi. Sasuke saw the man kneeling on the ground, smiled coldly, didn't look at it, but went to find his favorite companion. He already had a candidate in his heart. After Sasuke left, Chen's figure was revealed again. Chen smiled faintly, watching Sasuke's figure go away. Sasuke was afraid that he would never have imagined that the Uchiha Chen he was looking for was not far behind him at this time. As the Snake Squad finally going to be established, Sasuke's growth is really similar to that in the original book, and he really deserves to be Indra. Reincarnation, it's different when you open it. Chen whispered to himself, his eyes moved slightly. While talking, Chen Yi didn't even look at him, he left as soon as he moved. Chen and Sasuke both left one after another. At this time, the one who was kneeling on the ground looked confused. He had been kneeling on the ground, and he didn't know what to do at this time. After about a few hours, he seemed to remember something, and his eyes finally recovered a little bit of expression. By the way, cells, Orochimaru-sama's cells, ha ha ha. 575 Birth of the Orochi Kabuto. Open black lens bracket for automatic reward. Close black lens bracket. If he remembered something, there was a look in his eyes, and the whole person seemed to come alive. He entered the room, found Orochimaru's corpse in the laboratory, cultivated Orochimaru cells from it, and then transplanted it into his own body. Through Orochimaru's body cells, finally got a new power. Extremely satisfied with this, and there was a burst of smiles at the corners of his mouth, and there was a frenzy in his eyes, and a bit of madness. Finally got the power of Orochimaru-sama. Laughter. I will inherit everything from Orochimaru-sama, and I will inherit everything completely, and then let everyone know my power. Behaving very enthusiastically, he muttered to himself, by the way, not only the cells of Lord Orochimaru's laboratory, but also all his forbidden technique scrolls are all mine. I can also go to Raichi Cave and learn the sage art that everyone in Shimaru dreams of learning. A gleam of hope flashed in his eyes. Few days later, Orochimaru's cells were finally cultivated, and Orochimaru's cells were transplanted into his body, so that he got his wish and finally got Orochimaru's cells. After that, I began to concentrate on the forbidden technique and strength, and I wanted to inherit everything that Orochimaru left behind. At the same time, there is a small wish in his heart, which is also his long-standing dream, that one day he will be able to stand on the same opposite side as the legendary star legend Uchiha-chen, and possess absolute power. Uchiha-chen, when I inherit everything from Lord Orochimaru, I will definitely catch up with you. Just wait, I will become stronger, you can't help but admire, and even surpass you. Chen's strength is definitely fresh in his memory. He also knows Chen's strength, so the biggest wish in his heart is to catch up with Chen's footsteps. Became the serpent Kabuto. His body was quickly swallowed by Orochimaru's cells, which surprised him, but he also inherited everything from Orochimaru, and went to Raichi Cave in pursuit of stronger power. Chen actually sees all this in his eyes. Of course, he is more concerned about another thing. Sasuke has formed a snake team, and together with Suzuki, Chongo and Karen III, formed a special team. The goal is to take revenge on Uchiha Itachi, and began his road of revenge. In this regard, Chen is also very emotional. Sasuke, this guy is really a born avenger. Sasuke, Uchiha Itachi, this brother war is finally about to start, and then Pain is going to play Konoha alone. Should I remind Tsunade? I laughed and thought to myself. Sasuke gathered his teammates and finally started to take revenge. All this has finally begun. Chen also has a new mind in his heart. After this incident is over, it seems that he should go to Konoha to showdown with Tsunade and tell Tsunade his current situation. Sasuke gathered his own team to inquire about the news of Uchiha Itachi. At this time, Sasuke also knew that Uchiha Itachi was in an organization called Akatsuki. Sasuke, I seem to feel a strong chakra nearby, like the chakra of Akatsuki members. Karen said at this time. Sasuke raised his brows. Karen's Kagura Heart Eye is a magical skill, which can easily perceive everything within 10 miles. Karen, tell me the exact location and let me meet this Akatsuki member for a while to see how strong he is. Sasuke has decided to meet this Akatsuki member for a while. Chen's eyes narrowed slightly. He could feel who was coming. That was Deidara. Deidara, did you not escape the poor fate in the end? Chen whispered to himself. Only at this time Sasuke has rushed forward, quickly searching for Deidara's traces in the crowd, and finally found Deidara. Deidara was slightly taken aback when she saw Sasuke, but Sasuke and Uchiha Itachi looked alike, and with the unique pair of Sharingan, Deidara quickly understood who was coming in front of her. Sasuke, Uchiha Sasuke. Deidara looked at Sasuke with a hint of hostility in his eyes, and he could also feel that Sasuke was definitely not a good person. Where is Uchiha Itachi? If you can tell me, I will spare you not to die. Sasuke's character is very cold. It is called cold to say it nicely, and it is the second sickness to say it badly. Sasuke's tone is so loud that Deidara frowns secretly. Originally, Deidara was brooding about Uchiha Itachi in Akatsuki. After all, it was Uchiha Itachi who appeared before adding Deidara to Akatsuki. Although everyone was an organization, Deidara was still hostile to Uchiha Itachi, especially the pair of Sharingan, makes Deidara especially upset. Seeing Sasuke's arrogant tone, Deidara snorted coldly. This sentence should be right for me, Uchiha Sasuke, it seems that today is your day of death. Deidara roared, her expression changed, and she moved quickly. I saw that Deidara suddenly used 2 bombs, made a white giant bird out of detonating clay, stood on top of the giant bird, and looked at Sasuke coldly. Is it a bomb attack with clay? Sasuke's combat IQ is still relatively high, and he starts to fight while tentatively analyzing the situation. Chen observed all this from a distance, and saw that Sasuke and Deidara were fighting brilliantly, and the two quickly started using what they were good at. However, as the battle started, Sasuke gradually grasped the weakness of Deidara's battle and quickly understood everything. Please automatically reward the watermelon thanks to collection, recommendation, and points. 576 Brotherhood Battle, Sasuke and Uchiha Itachi. As Chen watched the battle, he found that Sasuke gradually grasped the rhythm of the battle unknowingly, and even mastered Deidara's weakness. Deidara's weakness is still obvious, that is, his detonating clay will not be able to detonate after encountering Raiden, Thunder style, which is very obvious in the restraint of escape, which allows Sasuke to grasp and take advantage of this good opportunity, directly master its time for battle. Sasuke has grasped it so quickly. Leaving aside the second illness, the talent is indeed quite good. Chen whispered to himself. I only saw that Sasuke was in the field at this time, and Sasuke had forced Deidara to use the 4th floor bomb. I only saw a giant Deidara appeared in the sky. This large Deidara dissipated and spread the explosive powder around, turning into countless explosions. Particles. As long as you inhale it, you will be resisted by this explosion. Chen's heart moved slightly, and the 9 Gudodama, truth-seeking ball, were separated, forming an absolute defense around Chen to resist the explosion. An explosion of this magnitude still could not pose any threat to Chen. Explosion was over, and Sasuke also used demonic illusion to blind Deidara, which made Deidara's anger rise, especially after seeing Sasuke's indifferent eyes. Deidara was completely irritated. Damn, what I hate the most is people like you. This look is exactly the same as that damn Uchiha Itachi. I want to show you what is the ultimate art. Deidara growled. At this time, I saw Deidara's body spread out a force of power, and the body energy and chakra gathered together, making Deidara's body into a strange black ball. At this time, Sasuke's color changed. He felt that the black ball contained a huge chakra. This chakra seemed to destroy the world. It was so terrifying that Sasuke couldn't help but be startled. This is... Sasuke whispered to himself, shocked. Experience my ultimate art. I'm going to explode next time, and this area of 10 miles will be turned into ashes, ha ha ha. Deidara roared and shouted in anger. Sasuke sensed something was wrong, and quickly used the technique of psychic. Spiritual technique. Sasuke's voice just fell, and then the explosion sounded. Boom! The earth shook and the mountains shook, making a loud bang, and the sound exploded, causing the surrounding earth to shake, extremely violent. The loud bang continued to explode, causing a rumbling sound, the ground trembled, and a dull thunderous roar was emitted. Explosion exploded. Within a radius of dozens of miles, a piece of trees, earth, dirt, boulders, etc. were all destroyed. Fortunately, the battlefield between Deidara and Sasuke was in this area, otherwise it would be really terrible. With a loud bang, everything here turned into nothingness and disappeared. The dirt disappeared. Trees disappeared. Everything disappeared, only Tatsuya, who remained calm and unchanging in the midst of the huge explosion. Gudodama, truth-seeking ball, blocked all attacks, although this level of attack power was terrifying for ordinary ninjas. But in front of Chen, it is very ordinary. It's over, Deidara is a pity. Chen sighed softly. In fact, Deidara was really a bit wrong to lose, and she was too restrained by Sasuke's Raiden, Thunder style. Deidara is still pretty strong. Akatsuki lost another person, but Chen didn't care at all, just knew that the next thing was definitely the highlight. Next is the battle between Sasuke and Uchiha Itachi. Chen narrowed his eyes, his figure flashed, and he saw that Sasuke in the distance finally resisted the explosion with the help of a psychic technique, and the 10,000 snakes from the psychic had already died, leaving Sasuke a little embarrassed. Escape. Sasuke barely escaped the explosion this time, and then saw Karen and others coming out. Karen even contributed his own special treatment to gradually restore Sasuke's body. Get out of here, this explosion will attract some people's attention. We will do our best to deal with the next battle. I will definitely find Uchiha Itachi. Sasuke's firm voice came out. Chenyan saw Sasuke leave. Soon, news of Deidara's death spread throughout Akatsuki, and Tatsu convened a meeting of Akatsuki where everyone was brought together by projection and linked through Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path. In Akatsuki expressed their surprise when they heard the news of Deidara's death. Deidara is actually dead, he's quite strong, it's a surprise. Lord Chief, who killed Deidara? Corner, both asked. It's Itachi's younger brother. Chen whispered. Uchiha Itachi was slightly startled, and then a gleam of light flashed in his eyes. Recently, Uchiha Itachi's body has been deteriorating, and he can clearly feel the lack of his body, as if his energy is one by one. The feeling of constant consumption made Uchiha Itachi couldn't wait to meet Sasuke. Uchiha Itachi was ready for his own martyrdom. This is like a moth to a fire, knowing that he will die, but also using his own death to fulfill Sasuke. Everyone in Akatsuki couldn't help but look at Uchiha Itachi. Chen also glanced at Uchiha Itachi, and said lightly, Itachi, your younger brother Sasuke still hates you. This time he is looking for you frantically. I guess you will meet soon. Uchiha Itachi nodded lightly and said, Leader, leave this to me. Chen nodded slightly, knowing what Uchiha Itachi meant. He sighed lightly, well, I'll leave this matter to you. Ghost Shark, you are responsible for dealing with the little devils around Sasuke. Yes, Chief. Ghost Road. After half a month, Sasuke finally found Uchiha Itachi. This battle of brothers has finally begun. 580 Truth, Tsunade's voice. Sasuke's chakra consumption was so great that he fainted and fell to the ground, unconscious. And Chen brought Sasuke to the room to rest. This time Naruto and the others came to look for Sasuke again, but they were first blocked by Obito's pseudonym Afei, and when they arrived, they found that the stronghold of the Uchiha clan had been turned into ruins. Sasuke he again. Naruto sighed, his expression a bit bitter, but spoke softly. Naruto, let's rest first, you have been tired for several days chasing Sasuke. After Sasuke kills Uchiha Itachi, maybe he will return to the village. At this time, Inuzuka Kiba said. Naruto nodded silently. At this time, everyone already knew the news of Uchiha Itachi's death. Naruto instinctively realized that something was wrong, and there seemed to be an inside story. Naruto and others left. And this time, in a secret base of Akatsuki. Sasuke was in a coma lying on the bed, and finally reluctantly woke up. You're awake. Chen's voice came, flat and indifferent, but with an irresistible meaning. This made Sasuke react at once, and his eyes turned to Shang Chen, showing a bit of surprise. You are. Sasuke looked at Chen. At this time, Chen was wearing a mask. Sasuke also had a vague feeling that the masked man he had seen before was actually the one who thought of this, and Sasuke's eyes flashed a bit of strange color. I'm Uchiha Chen. Chen took off his mask and said lightly. Sure enough, the moment Chen took off his mask, Sasuke confirmed his guess. A different look flashed in his eyes. Staring at Chen, he remembered what Uchiha Itachi said. Even Uchiha Itachi admitted that Chen is the most important member of the Uchiha clan. A strong genius is the most outstanding existence. Sasuke looked at the legendary man in front of him, noticed Gudodama truth-seeking ball behind him, noticed his pair of 6 Tomo's reincarnation Sharingan. His heart was filled with monstrous consternation, but he still pretended to be indifferent on the surface. Are you the leader of Akatsuki? Sasuke said coldly. Sasuke, don't look at me with this kind of eyes, your hateful eyes are really ridiculous and superficial. Chen said lightly. What did you say? But seeing Sasuke's face full of anger, there was a deep anger in his eyes, and his eyes turned cold. Chen glanced at Sasuke. Sasuke's eyes were not Amaterasu set by Uchiha Itachi at this time, because Uchiha Itachi also knew that Amaterasu was useless to Chen at all. Uchiha Itachi is a smart man, how is he? Don't worry, let me tell you the truth about Uchiha Itachi, everything about Uchiha Itachi. Chen said lightly. Immediately afterwards, Chen told Sasuke everything over the years. Sasuke's expression began to change, from disdain, disbelief, to shock, consternation, emotion, remorse and other emotions. In the interweaving of emotions, Sasuke triggered a change in his heart. The transformation made Sasuke's eyes flash without knowing it, and the pair of Sharingan showed even more. Mangekyo Sharingan. Oh, has Mangekyo Sharingan opened his eyes? Chen sighed softly. Mangekyo Sharingan in Sasuke's eyes kept spinning. He roared, clenched his fists tightly, and learned the truth, making Sasuke's inner world almost collapse again. The reason he was alive before was to take revenge on Uchiha Itachi, and now that reason just collapsed. Sasuke's world has collapsed. Konoha. Almost in the way of biting Kiba and gnashing his teeth, Sasuke roared out the word, using all his strength. His anger was unstoppable, and the blue veins on his hands showed. Seeing Sasuke roaring like this, Chen's heart moved slightly. It seems that Sasuke is the same as in the original work. After all, it still deviated from the original track of Uchiha Itachi. I will take my revenge on Konoha. I will destroy Konoha. Sasuke roared, clenching his fists. As you wish. Chen didn't have much to talk about with people like Sasuke in the late second stage of the second disease. After all, Naruto was the only one who could cure Sasuke's second disease in the original book. Chen didn't plan to do such a thankless thing. You can do whatever you want. I don't like the people of Konoha anyway, but I warn you, if you dare to hurt the current Hokage Tsunade, you will go to hell. Chen's faint voice came, and there was a hint of demonic illusion in the voice, which made Sasuke see Senra's hellish scene in an instant, and he couldn't help trembling, feeling Chen's terrifying strength. After finally getting out of demonic illusion, Sasuke was already soaked in cold sweat. At this time, Chen's figure had already disappeared. Knew it, Chen had actually arrived at Konoha village. That's right, Chen had already planned a showdown with Tsunade, telling Tsunade that he established Akatsuki's identity, and Tsunade knew that Chen was planning a big event, but he didn't know the name of Chen's specific organization. Next, it should be Pain's single brushing of Konoha, so Chen also needs to remind Tsunade and let Tsunade pay more attention. Next, is the Five Shadows Conference, which is the beginning of the Four Wars. Seeing that the fourth battle was about to start, a faint smile appeared on the corner of Chen's mouth. Everything was going according to his imagination. Soon, Chen met Tsunade. Inside the Hokage building, Chen meets Tsunade. Tsunade was in the building by himself working on documents, frowning impatiently. HMPH, these documents are really annoying. Those two old women are really annoying enough, they are rushing to and fro every day. Count the time, you haven't been here for 256 days. Tsunade muttered to himself, counting with his fingers. His expression was as cute as he wanted to be. Didn't I come here? Chen's voice came.